Alright, welcome to the Burglar Report, your one-stop place to shop for news, and yeah, I gotta work on that. So thank you for tuning in. This is my third episode. As you can see, I'm in a different location in my house, working on some lighting or something or other. It's all very new to me. It's all very, I know nothing about this, so as far as video production in that sense. In any case, today I would like to go over some news. This is what I want to do in this YouTube channel, is maybe cover current events, add in my commentary, perspective, weird stuff, I don't know. So without further ado, let's see what we have in the news currently. But well, today's January 19th, 18th, whatever. This is an MLK weekend. So as one might expect, there were protesters. You know, I'm sure people are inspired to head out there and protest. So let's see what we got. The protesters demanded $15 minimum wage, and also there was also a march on police brutality. So let me start with the police brutality. There's a lot of that in the news. I understand it. I like cops. I don't like criminals. And with throughout society, whether it's, you know, civilian, well, technically police are civilians too, because they're not military. There's going to be roughly 10% or less, I don't know. They're, you know, criminals, so you're going to have, you know, rotten banana in every bunch. So, overall, police brutality, contrary to popular belief, is not on the rise. You know what's on the rise? People having cell phones and social media. If you think about it, you know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the Rodney King nonsense, you know, you got that on film. People had those little camcorders that were like massive on your shoulder, and they were like beep beep, you know, VHS, slap it in. But nowadays, everybody has cell phones. Like, yeah, no, everybody always had cell phones, but no, if you think about it, you got these freaking smartphones that are genius, and 10 years ago, camera phones more or less were in their early stages. I mean, you had these crappy 1.3 megapixel cameras. I remember because I had one. And what, maybe 5 years later, you know, you have the iPhones and all that fanciness coming out, and now here we are, 2016. You know, everybody and their mom's got these huge, bad smartphones. Sorry, I almost said the A-word. And then, I mean, they're so cheap. I mean, all these, I'm sure they're government subsidized, a lot of these companies, because you go to the Walmart and pick up a phone for $50 that would have cost like $800 not too long ago, maybe 8 years ago. So you figure everyone has access to this technology, and then now within the last 5 years, a lot of these are coming equipped with social media apps on them. So I mean, everything's like, you know, snapping it, posting it, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, I don't know. So obviously you're going to catch more incidents of police brutality. So I understand, you know, I mean, I'm not taking it away. It's a travesty. It's terrible. You know what I mean? A lot of these people, all that stuff you see in the news, and it's I mean, it's horrific. I don't know what else to say about it. But the fact is, it's not on the rise, and they just want to, don't get caught up in this race war that they're trying to hype up. It's, I don't know. Yes. So yeah, you have the protesters out there protesting, and you know, look, if you're gonna protest, stay out of the streets. Use the sidewalks. Do what you gotta do. But when you block traffic, that's when it becomes illegal, essentially. But the other part of that was the $15 minimum wage. I mean, that's been all over the news past year or two. You know, it sounds like a good idea, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you actually listen to top economists, when you increase the minimum wage, you stall the economy. It might not make sense to some of you, but think about it. I mean, you can't force laws on the economy. It stalls it, cripples it. I mean, it's just unfair to small business, usually. But think about it. okay. First of all, only like 2 or 3% of the people actually make minimum wage. A lot of it's much ado about nothing. But even that, though, a lot of the companies, they'll get away with paying a quarter over minimum wage. So there's a lot of people living in poverty, especially nowadays. But when you force a higher minimum wage, that leads to pretty massive inflation. So, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. $10 might buy you $10 worth of junk now, but you raise the minimum wage to 15, prices got to go up, small businesses close down, people lose jobs, unemployment goes up, the market starts to look shaky. Well, then here goes the Federal Reserve printing more money, it inflates a dollar. So what you buy now for $10, you might only get $8 worth of crap for the same amount of money. So in the long run, it's hard on the economy, and then for the rest of us that don't get a raise with that minimum wage, you're losing value on the dollar. And that ties into another headline with Walmart closing more stores. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but they've closed or are closing 159 stores in the U.S. Walmart. It's crazy. Those things are everywhere. And a lot of that has to do with the minimum wage going up. And that's what they're not telling you. Walmart's notorious for not paying their employees anything, let alone benefits. But they're closing down. And it's sweet and sour. Hey, Walmart going down, because essentially they came in and killed all the small business. But now a lot of the big box stores like Walmart are they're dying out. I don't know if it's because of Amazon or people are just tired of going to the store. And it's a bit of a shame, because Walmart was a few huge corporations that actually pay taxes in this country. A lot of big corporations have offshore, whatever the heck, and don't pay taxes. So, and it's also sad, because you ever been to Walmart? There's a very curious environment in there. The people in there are just, I don't think some of them are space aliens. And some of them might just be living amoebas, or I don't know. It's crazy in there. I go in there and I think, like, what are these people thinking of me going in there? A guy in a ski mask. That's just weird. But yeah, it's all right. Moving along. So let's see what we got. Headlines. Davos is a big yearly meeting about the economy. In Switzerland, Davos, Switzerland, I believe. For those of you that don't know that, and they discuss features of the economy and this and that and whatever, big announcements for big companies and crap. So let's see. According to Davos, 5 million jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence by 2020. Well, that's interesting and problematic, but it's 5 million worldwide. And a lot of it has to do. Those are in the developing countries, emerging economies. So that's not necessarily 5 million here in the United States, but it's still a problem. But even that, it has to do with, you got all these emerging technologies, 3D printing, nanotech, robotics, artificial intelligence. Once they all start working together better, that's where the job losses are going to be. But it's I don't know. That's kind of scary for the future. It's the rise of machines. They're going to come and get us. The Matrix. Or body snatchers? No? I don't know. Let's see. Moving along here again. The Obama administration proposes $4 billion over 10 years to driverless car programs. Driverless cars scare the bejeez out of me. Because, well, let me back up. So you got $10 billion or $4 billion over 10 years. That's $400 million a year going to these companies in Silicon Valley, and it's only like a handful of companies. It's like, I don't know, maybe 20 or so. You got big ones like BMW, Tesla, Google, Apple. All of these driverless cars. And that's unfair, because you got, I'm sure, college engineering graduates want to start their own company, but they're not getting that $400 million a year. They got to come up with their own loans, and it puts these big companies already in an advantage. So whatever they're putting out, they're just gonna buy up the small guy and eliminate competition, and they're gonna, do the thing. That's whatever. That's not cool. But in any case, I mean, yeah, driverless cars scare me. Anybody, computer virus? Have anybody owned, or any of you thinking about this, own a PC? You know what I mean? To leave a computer in charge of you driving. Driving is one of the deadliest things we do every day. It's like tens of thousands of people a year drive or die in driving cars. Yes, driving cars. die in automobile. I can't talk. Automobile accidents kill upwards of 30,000 people a year, depending. I believe that's in the United States alone. So while we're all scared of guns and this and that, cars are very dangerous. Doesn't need to be said. But you want to leave you want to leave your life, your children's life, in the hands of a computer. I can understand computers have the potential of being smarter than, this old noggin up here. But have you ever owned a PC? You ever seen that blue screen crash that seems to happen on a couple-year basis? You want a computer crash? You want a computer with software that probably has the ability to be hacked as well, of course. Because the programmers get in there, a hacker could get in there. Duh. And, that's the thing that's beautiful about this brain. It's really unhackable at the moment, until all the nanotech comes out. My brain is getting huger by the second. Just think about it. You're in a situation, you're going up to the mountains for the weekend or something, and, you're going up one side, and then the car's coming down the other side, and you guys are passing, maybe somebody's tire blows, and the computer thinks like, well, I can turn left and crash into the car and kill, the drivers of my car and then maybe someone in another car, or I can just turn right and go off the mountain and save the lives of this car. It's like, what about me? I'm just along for the ride, and the computer decides I'm not worth living. It's scary stuff. Not to mention, they even admitted in the Davis meetings that those are going to be virtually drones, because they're all going to have top gadgets and cameras and monitoring you and monitoring people around the thing, and just something that could be utilized by the NSA, which is, I don't care about the NSA. They have too much information. But still, information does get used against you, and nothing to hide or not. It's a little creepy. But, I don't know. I think we might be out of time here. I covered most of what I want to talk about. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Burglar Report. It's been a real pleasure. I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing. Get off my butt. Quit being lazy. The holidays. I got caught up in the holidays. Come on, give me a break. And the kids. I got kids. They're sleeping. But thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye.